Hey leaders, welcome to LeadersQ. My name is Jay Rains. I'm the founder and CEO of LeadersQ, and we're so excited to get to know you. You are on a journey, and we want to be there to support you in your success and where you're headed. Our coaches are well equipped to come alongside you and support you in thinking through your next step, your leadership growth. So here we go. Let's start this journey together. I like to think of coaching as being on a road trip. I love road trips. I love driving on road trips, but the hard thing about driving on a road trip is you don't always get to see the scenery. In fact, I can remember going on a road trip and going over like a mountain pass, and there's this cliff off to the side of the car, and my family's looking outside and they're admiring all the things around us, and I'm wanting to look, but they keep telling me, keep your eyes on the road. And I feel like as leaders and living through life, sometimes we are working so hard to keep our eyes on the road, we don't have time to stop and look around. And so coaching for me is one of those moments where someone else is driving. Now they're still going where you want to go and they're still taking you where you're wanting to get to, but it's like they're allowing you for a moment to look around and enjoy the view and observe what's happening around their life. So you think about all the things that are going on in your life right now, and to have a moment where someone comes along and they're driving by asking some inquisitive, curious, introspective questions, but you're still the one that's looking around, and you get a moment to kind of enjoy the scenery or observe in a different way what's happening around you and really think about your response to the environment you're in. So as you think about coaching, think about it as an opportunity to think through a goal that you have. And it may be that you have a goal, and as you begin to really evaluate that goal, you realize that there's so many things that are built into accomplishing that goal. For example, what if someone said, hey, I want to climb Mount Everest? And so if you had a coach, the coach would begin to ask, so what is it about Mount Everest that really motivates you? And so they're helping you really discover and get connected with your purpose, your mission, your motivation. And then they might begin asking things like, okay, so what's it going to look like when you reach this stage of your journey? And what resources might you need for that moment? And so coaching is a way to help you almost imagining the success of the journey, but but getting ahead of those moments and really thinking about what is it that I need to be successful for this journey if it's really important to me, and getting attached to the importance of finishing the goal. Coaching can be about taking a moment to think about the dynamics of relationships around you and what might be at play, and how you might better approach a conversation or relationship. Or it may be that you have a blind spot about an opportunity that's just right in front of you, and until you take some time with a coach, you may just not have the chance to notice what's right there, and you already know it's there in your subconscious maybe. And so as you go through a coaching process, it tends to bubble up. And so those blind spots aren't really like a deficiency in you. It's more like you just haven't taken the time to let those amazing things in your mind and your heart bubble up so that you can maximize your potential. Coaching is not about talking to an expert and downloading their amazing ideas. Coaching is about you being the expert, and the coach comes along and helps you evaluate and see how you can use your expertise in the maximum way. Coaching is about getting clear and getting focused on what really is most important for you. It may be that you find that something is really important, but it's not important right now. And you realize there's something else that's more important right now so that you can be ready to do that other thing that's more important later. So coaching is very dynamic. A coach needs to be very responsive to where you are, your emotions, what you're thinking, your skill set. And so a coach is there to help bring out the best in you. So one of the things that I think we need to be really clear about with coaching is not to be an additional voice in your life. You shouldn't have a coach that's sitting there telling you what you ought to do. You have plenty of people around the world telling you what you ought to do. There's all these inputs of various inputs coming in your life, and you're having to sort through all the things that you feel like you ought to do. Coaching ought to be more about helping you sort out all those inputs and figuring out what are the inputs that you want to be true for your life, that you want to receive and use for your benefit. And so it gives you a stronger voice about who you are and what your direction is, and helps you sort out all of those confusing inputs that are coming your way. So some people avoid coaching because they think it's counseling, and coaching and counseling are two very different things. Counseling has great benefits, and I would encourage anyone to get counseling if they feel like they really need to sort through some parts of their life and get some support in that way. Counseling generally tends to be more about looking backwards at life and kind of historically looking at what has happened and unpacking that. Whereas coaching is a little bit more forward facing. It looks at where am I now and where do I want to get to? And so in that way, you're really trying to figure out how to set a goal or achieve a goal or understand what I need to do to have that success. And so coaching is much more forward looking, and that makes coaching and counseling very different. Also, coaching is more about you being the expert. You're the hero of your journey. You're the driver in the driver's seat, and the coach is more there to help support and encourage your progress on your journey. So here's a few tips about how to maximize your time in coaching. You think about it, coaching is an investment in you. Whoever's paying for this coaching, whether it's yourself or maybe your work or some other method, whoever's paying for this is paying for an investment in you. But you have the responsibility to maximize that investment. And so as a coaching client, there are three ways that you could really multiply and maximize the coaching time that you have. First is come with a topic in mind. Come with an idea of what you want to talk about, what's happening in your life. Now, obviously, there might be times where you get on a coaching call and you're like, I just don't know what to talk about. Now, our coaches are well equipped to help you think through that and come to a topic. So it's not a requirement, but be thoughtful about your call. Be thinking when you get that notice 24 hours ahead that says your appointment's coming, begin there, at least begin there to be ready about the topic that you have for your coaching conversation so that it can be very focused and you get the results that you need. Another tip would be to schedule ahead. You probably will get a coaching notification remind you to schedule, or maybe just right after your last call, just immediately go on and schedule your next call. But go ahead and look at your calendar and think about where would be the best time of day, where would be the best time of the week for me to have a call that is very focused, and I can put all of my energy into this call to get the most out of it. And then the third thought would be come with a way to record your thoughts. Your coach is going to lead you through a mental journey and helping you map through your mind. And so I would encourage you, get a pen that you love, get a journal that you love, come with that blank piece of paper, maybe come with a few questions or topics written on that piece of paper, but be ready to record some highlights, even one action step that you plan to take coming out of that that coaching conversation so that you have a record of your growth. You're going to be growing, an investment's being made in you. Make an investment in yourself and capture your growth journey through some kind of journal. Take time to record your growth. As professional coaches, we're providing for you an agreement that we want to have with you together. Your coach and you are agreeing in the coaching agreement to a few basic things, and that includes things like confidentiality. We're here for your success, and we feel like that in order for you to have real success and opportunity to really talk about the tough issues in your life, this needs to be a confidential conversation. So even if your coach has taken a few notes or something in front of you, just know those notes are just for their memory and for them to be aware of what you talked about last time and what you need to talk about the next. And so we don't have a conversation with you and then go report that conversation to anyone else. Now, having said that, we're being confidential. It also prevents us from being able to celebrate you to your supervisor. And so I would encourage you to think about, maybe even talk with your coach about, hey, what could I take from this conversation to go and share and celebrate to my coworkers and my leaders? Because I want to celebrate out loud, and then you get to create that message about your growth journey. Another part of that coaching agreement is not only about confidentiality from the coach and that coaches are all about your success, but your part of that agreement is that you would set aside a clear amount of time, that you would honor the time that you've set aside, because we want to honor the coach's time, we want to honor your time. So we want you to really work to protect the time that you've set aside in the scheduling. And so schedule ahead, do everything you can to make your appointments and be on time and be ready for your coaching call.